Welcome, everybody. This is the Crazed Spartan, and it is time for another lore podcast. And with me, I have the Frozen Sword. How's it going, Frozen?
It's doing great. And like you said, this is a Halo Lore podcast, aka the Halo Lore Professors, aka the Crazed Sword Connection, aka Cheech and Chong.
I think you get better every time. That's just nuts.
Except we're not smoking pot.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Yeah,
I'm not either.
I've never had any interest in that business. Just
I never
never
have.
did.
I never have either.
All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Now, the
Hold on a
things.
minute. Hold
What?
on a minute.
Hold
I know
on.
you said this, but it was in my notes. I said I would make you sing a song on Twitter.
That's not going to happen. I can't sing. I can't sing. It's bad.
I can't sing either, but people still listen.
People say, you know what? You need to stop dragging cats through a garden hose by the tail because it ain't working. Jeez. Are you ready? Are you ready or no?
Okay, let's get it going now.
All right. All right. Let's go ahead and start off with the first trailer. The initial trailer that we saw. What was your initial thoughts when you first saw it? I mean, talking about within the first 20 seconds of this trailer. What were you thinking?
I knew it was Halo because you could, was the Arbiter talking in the first 20 seconds.
Yeah, it was.
I did not know that was the Arbiter the first time I watched it. Like his voice sounded different to me, and I thought that was that new Spartan Agent Locke talking.
Yeah, it took me a second to realize that. It really did. But then I go, you know what? I think that's Keith David. That means Arbiter, which is a huge, huge thing for the Halo fan base because that's one of the top things everybody's been wanting is the Arbiter to return. Now, my question is on that is why is he asking Agent Locke? And it is Locke now. It's not Clark. It's not Glock. It is Locke. It's been confirmed. Locke. Why is he asking Locke basically to find the Master Chief?
I think the Master Chief has gone missing to try to find a way to save Corner, like at the Cortana, like at the trailer we saw last year. But something else has happened, probably involving the Didact, where the entire galaxy is in jeopardy. So the Arbiter is having to try to find Master Chief, who is gone missing, to save the galaxy and to defeat the Didact.
That's probably a very good theory on that, but it's still odd to me, though, honestly, as to why the Arbiter is asking him. I mean, Arbiter is a very capable warrior himself. Why doesn't he go after him? What does Locke have to do with this? I wonder.
Well, I think they said the answers of that would be in the Halo Nightfall too, didn't they?
It's going to lead right up to that, so it very well could be right up to the Halo 5, and we're getting that out this year. So we're going to kind of at least probably have an idea as to what's going on, which is awesome. Yeah, lots of good stuff here. What else, as you recall? I can't remember the exact words that he said here. What was it?
He is the sum of. He was greater than the sum of all of his actions.
You have to do more than follow in his footsteps. Yeah, something right along those lines, something like that. Now, this brings up a question I have, and that is, are we going to see old areas that we've been to? Are we going to go to the Ark? Are we going to go to the Halo Ring '05?
That'd be interesting because it was hinted at in Halo 4.
It very well could be. I mean, that's just a question I have because that's what I think to me is we're going to hit up old places that he's been. Maybe New Mombasa. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's going to be pretty cool to see where 343 is going to take this story.
And they said that in the Halo 2 anniversary, they are adding new like stuff like terminals and even cutscenes that give more hints towards Halo 5, like how the first Halo was tied directly. Well, Halo Anniversary was tied directly into Halo 4. They're going to tie Halo 2 directly into Halo 5.
Oh yeah, those terminals were the best, weren't they?
Yeah, it made me mad that you had to go to Waypoint. You had to leave the
Yeah,
game, go
yeah.
to Waypoint, and then watch it. I'm like, I'm not going to leave the game. I just watch those after I beat the game. And then when I finally beat the game and try to go to Waypoint, like it took me 20 minutes to find the terminals.
Wait, wasn't that just in Halo 4? I think
But
Halo CE you could watch them right there on in game.
yeah, but for Halo 4 you had to go to Waypoint and they were hidden.
Yeah, they were what in the classified section or something like that.
I had to go on YouTube and watch a video on how to find them on Waypoint.
That shouldn't be. I do recall I went to try to find them recently. I mean, not recently, like a couple months ago, because I wanted to watch them again, and it was like, where were they? I couldn't remember. I had to honestly go and look at somebody else's YouTube and to watch them again because I just couldn't find them.
I figure that ties into too that they didn't have the time to actually put in the game. Like they were at the end of production, like we don't have time to put this in the game. Waypoint.
Yeah, that could be, or they just didn't have the space on the disc at the time as well. That could be a very good reason why too. 'Cause that takes up a lot of space. You think about it. That was how many terminals? Eight, eight, I think.
Let me see. I got mine right here. It is 2 discs, so I'm sure they could have put it on it.
Yeah, one was strictly multiplayer. The other one was campaign, and yeah, I think it was eight terminals if I recall, and that's a lot. That's a lot of video. Each of them probably about 4 or 5 minutes long. That eats up a lot of space really quickly.
Yeah. There's like a lot of things we gotta talk about tonight.
There is just a ton, and I have to say thanks to Mr. Andrew McCarthy. He definitely keeps us on our toes lore wise, and he definitely finds some of those little things that we miss. I'm sure he's posted on your channel as well as mine.
Yeah, today actually.
Yeah, he did on mine too, as a matter of fact. I really appreciate that. That's just amazing that he does have that knowledge. If he had Skype, I'd almost just ask him to join us one of these nights
That's what I was about to say.
because, man, he is good.
You were trying to get somebody to come with us this time or do it with us this time, weren't you?
Yeah, but we're gonna have to do that. One of these times we do have to get somebody here to join us because that's just add that third part. But I honestly don't know who else has a ton of lore knowledge. I mean,
Or somebody that does that would do a video with us.
yeah, that could put up with the crazed Frozen's connection,
Cheech and Chong.
the Cheech and Chong.
Who's Cheech and who's Chong?
I'll be Cheech. I'll be Cheech.
I'll be Chong then. Although I've never actually seen them. Like, I've never seen anything they've done before. I just know who they are and I know what they did.
Oh, they did a lot of what they did. All right, back to the subject at hand before we get too crazy, because we do that all the time. We do that all the time. We're going to get back to the lore part of stuff, but I want to talk a little bit about the Halo 5 beta. What was your thoughts?
When I was first watching it, like I didn't get that much out of it. The video, if you cut off the intro and the ending of it, the video is like 27 seconds, and then before you know it, it's over. So I literally got on YouTube on Halo Waypoint's channel, and I watched it like literally 20 times to try to get everything out of it. And I actually did a trailer analysis of it today, or whenever you upload this, like in the past. It's kind of like
Yeah.
Back to the Future, but there I go again.
Back to the Future. But yeah,
But there's
yeah, it
like
was very, very short.
one of the things I put in my trailer analysis was like right when it started, there's like a scoreboard or what I think is a scoreboard to the side, and they had like a countdown. And I'm thinking, are they going to have like a scoreboard in the map the entire game, or is this just like for this map they've shown, or is this going to be like in every map?
I don't know. That's a good question. My question to that particular one, is it going to be available in Forge? I want to be able to put that scoreboard up and have a what are those jumbotron things? I think it'd be really
Titantron.
cool. I think it'd be really cool to add to your map if it is capable of doing so.
I mean, it's the Xbox One, and they have an extra year to work on this game, so I think anything's possible.
Now there is one thing in that Halo 5 beta. I don't know if you caught this. Some people have mentioned it, some may not, but when the beta starts up, the Spartan says something. Now, is it me, or am I completely off base here, but does that not sound like Gunny Sergeant Buck from ODST?
I've actually heard people say that, but I mean, I don't know if it's just my ears, but I don't really hear much in the trailer.
Yeah, it's really hard to hear, but if you think about it and listen to it, to me, it sounds like Gunny Sergeant Buck. That he is become a Spartan, which, as we know in the Halo lore, Halo 4 or Spartan 4s have become, or a lot of them were former
ODSTs.
ODSTs. And ODST, who's more famous than Sergeant Buck and the Rookie and uh, Mikey and God, was Dutch? That whole group there, that was a good group.
Okay, you just said something I gotta mention. What if they made a sequel to ODST called Halo Spartan? Rookie going from an ODST to a Spartan 4.
That's possible. I would love to see an ODST too, because that was an incredible storyline. A very short game. Unfortunately, it was just so short. I really like the story though.
Most people, like your casual Halo fans at time goes, this came out when Halo was still the number one game in the world. And when you thought Halo, you thought Spartans. So when ODST came out, it got a lot of hate just because of how the way the gameplay was. Nobody actually sat there and looked at the story. But most people who were into the lore will tell you at the time ODST did have the best story in a Halo game.
Yeah, it made me so sad that I could play it and be done with it in 5 hours.
I've been in four.
No, that was legendary. It was co-op. It was co-op, but still, I did co-op just with one other person, legendary settings, and we were done within 6 hours. It was a good run, and the guy I went with this was actually his first Halo game, to be honest with you. So yeah, he was pretty new. I did most of the killing, but yeah, it was just so short. But the story was amazing. Uh, 4 or 5 troopers on the ground trying to get back together. And then on top of that, complete a mission, which was amazing, in New Mombasa, which is where Master Chief was.
This was when I think Master Chief was killing Prophet of Regret.
Yes, yep. That was when Regret was basically sandblasting the whole place and then found that Forerunner ship underground. And then they took off and everything. So yeah.
Oh, talking about Regret. Did you see how he looks in Halo 2 Anniversary?
Oh my lord. Did, did you see any of the comparison ones? Regret looks amazing. Sergeant Johnson. Did you
Oh,
see
sorry.
Sergeant Johnson?
It's like I didn't even know he had a mustache.
Oh my God, I can't wait. And from what I understand, every single cinematic is going to be redone, at least for Halo 2, and it'd be awesome if they did them for the other ones too. But man, they look good. They
It's from
look
the
really good.
it's from the company that did the cutscenes for Halo Wars and Halo 4.
Oh, Halo Wars. Remember that? The
Oh,
cinematics in that one were amazing.
if we're going to talk about Halo Wars, we got to talk about the Phantom Dust shown at the Xbox One press conference, and then Phantom Dust they had a picture of Halo Wars. And after the recent Halo Escalation comics talking about the Spirit of Fire, and now this, I think they're hinting at a Halo Wars 2, and I'm almost positive at next year's E3 they will show a trailer for Halo Wars 2 and say release 2016.
Could be. The way they do E3s, if you guys don't know, is each game stand or is in like two E3s. So that would be the perfect time to introduce Halo Wars 2. And if they're starting to hint at it now, amazing. I loved the original. Another great campaign, which I have not done in a while.
If you think about it, Halo 2 was in three E3s, and Halo 5 is too because it was in last year's E3. It was in this year's E3, and it's going to be next year's E3. So if you technically consider this, and if they show it next year, then Halo Wars would have at least been shown a little bit in three E3s too.
That'll be a lot. Oh my God. God, we got so much coming for Halo. It's unreal. And I'm going to say this right now. I have to say this. Halo is going to be back on top without a doubt in my mind.
But I don't think it's going to be bigger than the a lot of the new multi-platform games, just because multi-platform games have gotten so big. Cause like, look at Watch Dogs. Halo 4 is the top-selling Halo game of all time, and Watch Dogs sold like twice as much as Halo 4 did in the first week.
Well, yeah, that's you're going to have that with multi-platform. That's just the way that is. You just got a larger market.
But it used
Um,
to not, because Halo used to sell more than all multi-platform titles too.
yeah, but individually, if you compared any Halo game pretty much over by platform, if on the Xbox, if they were compared to that, yeah, it easily outsells them. But when I'm saying Halo is going to be back on top, you're going to see MLG, all them guys really going. I want to play this at a tournament, and you're going to see it in tournaments again. I almost guarantee it. Halo 2 back without a doubt. Halo 3 tournaments, all that stuff. Yeah, I can guarantee you that it's going to happen.
I think the Master Chief Collection will be Halo returning mainstream.
Oh yeah, easily, easily. I mean, you take a look at that collection. That is a major collection.
And I want to say this too. Halo is the game that got gaming. I mean, before Halo came out, gaming was considered nerdy. Then Halo comes out and it made video games mainstream. Halo is solely responsible for that. Halo is solely responsible for MLG, the pro circuits, for gaming, online gaming, mainstream gaming. It's responsible for all that. And people have forgotten that, but I think they're about to turn back to Halo now.
I have already heard major, really, really big pro players. They say, "Well, I'm going to be going back to Halo." I mean, honestly, they got the game they want. They can play the game they want, and I know MLG and them guys are going to pick it up. It's almost a guarantee. I just don't know when, but I think we're going to see it. We're going to see all those online tournaments and stuff. It's going to happen.
And with Halo 5, Frank O'Connor already confirmed that the Halo 5 multiplayer, or the ranked multiplayer, I guess you could say, I think they said arena competitive,
Ranks.
will not have armor ability. So that's going to make a lot of the MLG guys happy. And they're going to bring ranks back to multiplayer with the Master Chief Collection. So they're going
Ranks.
all out.
Oh, it's God, they took their whooping. Honestly, 343 took their whooping with Halo 4. But they learned from it. They've listened to the fans, and they really did deliver on this one. They really did. I can't wait to see in there and get ranks in game, and absolutely none of that's been confirmed, but you can almost guarantee that's going to happen. They talked about ranks, that they are going to have them. No more details other than that. I can't wait. I can't wait to see where I'm actually going to be playing against a lot of people of my own skill level, because the population is going to be so much higher.
Or I hope it is, at least. Anyway,
I
it should be.
honestly, you think about it right now on Xbox 360, the population is split big time between Halo 3, Halo Reach, and of course Halo 4, and not to mention the other FPS titles out there. And with this title, you're getting it all under one roof. You're going to have everybody in one area. I think it's going to be a big time, or a big thing for people to get online, play Halo with their friends, and have custom games, custom playlists. You know, I can't tell you how excited I am for that. I want to do a lot of game nights coming up, and to be able to say I'm going to set up custom playlists. Like I'm going to say I'm going to have 4 matches of Halo 2, and then I'm going to switch over to Halo 1, and set it up like that, and we can just play it and vote it and everything else just like you would a regular playlist.
And when Halo 2 was shut down on the original Xbox, it continued to be the number one game on the original Xbox to the closure, and that made people mad. And then with Halo 3 and Reach and Halo 4, people were starting to panic, going, the Xbox One is coming out, so that means they're going to shut these games down too. But with the Master Chief Collection, they're not only bringing all those back, or when the 360 shuts down, they will still be able to be played, but they're also bringing back Halo 2 and even bringing on Halo 1.
Yeah, which has never ever been on Xbox Live. I can't wait to play that, to be honest with you. I really can't. And to have all of them running at 1080p, 60
60.
frames per second on dedicated servers. I am one happy Spartan. Let me
There's
tell you.
there's one thing I want to complain about is Frank O'Connor on the IGN video said there will be 93 maps. He said that Halo PC maps would not be on it, and I know he did because I was sitting there watching it. And he said Halo PC maps will not be included, and he says some Halo 2 maps won't be either. So I did some researching on the Waypoint forums, and the Halo 2 maps that won't be included is the very last map pack Halo 2 had.
That's not what I've actually heard from somewhere else that every single one, including PC, is going to be on there, which I hope it is. I really do. I hope it. They just put absolutely everything on there.
I mean, he said they weren't, and maybe he was just like had wrong information or something when he said it. But I know Halo PC, I have that. I used to play, and it has some really good original maps on it.
Yeah, the PC version. There was some that were, as a matter of fact, I'm kind of working on something now, but which is really difficult to do, to considering what information there is out there and how to get it. But it is going to be amazing to play some of those maps like ice fields. I think it was. That was my first race game type I played was ice fields. That was just so fun.
And
Race
another,
was in Halo CE.
yeah, and it was taken out for like what until,
Halo Reach.
yeah.
Though they did bring something back in Halo 3, Rocket Race and stuff like that. But
But they
official
use like
game type, yeah, Halo.
VIP or something like that.
I'm not sure how they ran with it. It's been so long, and of course, it was a custom playlist, so that they did updated one. So it's not there anymore.
But one thing I remember is when Halo 2 came out. I mean, I had Halo 2, but my mom would not let me get Xbox Live until I was 13, which was like right before Halo 3 came out. So Halo 3 was the first game I played online, and
Yeah.
I played like years up until Halo Reach came out. I mean, I would literally spend 12 to 16 hours a day playing custom games over the summer. Just pure custom games. Like you could always find somebody playing custom games. And when Reach came out, to a certain extent, you could still do that. Not as much because they took a lot of options out with Reach, but you could still find custom games. And Halo 4 comes out and nobody plays customs because they took even more options out. But with the
Yeah.
Master Chief Collection, I just imagine people doing like the Halo 3 customs again, and me just sitting there some days when I have a day off, just sitting there playing Halo 3 customs.
Now, this is actually what I've heard, and this is what I was kind of talking about a little earlier. Um, what I'm hearing is that you are going to be able to set up a custom playlist. Like I said, you could select the maps, select the game types, Halo 1 through 4, the whole nine yards. You can select everything you want to play. So if you want objective, you want Slayer, you want SWAT, you want assault, you want griffball, you want all that in that playlist, you can set it up to do just that. And then you can pretty much run it like a server and get people into your match.
But have they confirmed custom game search? Like, since they're doing dedicated servers, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't.
I think it's coming. I think it'll be there. I really do. I think Halo 5 is going to have the same thing.
Halo 5 looks like it's going to be more of a continuation from Halo 3's multiplayer than Reach or 4's, too.
Well, yeah, I would say so. I mean, Halo 4, I love playing Halo 4. I really do. But at times it does get frustrating. And
Especially when you're sitting there and you're like, I get them trapped. There's no way they can kill me. I'm going to go in and kill them. And then they come out with an incinerator cannon and just, pow, you're dead.
or they fly overhead and hit you with the assault rifle. Like, oh Jesus. Yeah, I was honestly on last night playing a bunch of matches, and I was like, I cannot play this right now because I'm just getting so mad. I went and played some Halo 3. Just get out of that area.
And I don't know how long it's been since I played Halo Reach. I mean, like, I haven't played that since 4 came out, I don't think.
I have. I've played once in a while, and I still do to this day because honestly, it's not a bad game. It's not. It's got again its issues with jetpack and armor lock and stuff, and the DMR is atrocious. But other than that, I think it actually is a decent game. Though I'm probably going to get flame sorted on this one because I said that, but I enjoyed Reach. I think it had potential. Again, I think Halo 4 still has a ton of potential.
The thing I think about Reach is that if you look at all the original multiplayer maps with it, they came straight from campaign, and besides the remakes of older maps, they sucked. And then they came out with
Yeah.
map packs, and the map packs actually were really good maps for Halo Reach, just like Halo 4. And but
Yeah.
nobody downloaded those, so you couldn't even play them.
Doesn't that get you excited though? When we get this Master Chief collection, can you think about that? You're going to be able to play snipers on any of those maps.
But one
Shatter,
thing,
you got all those DLC maps. Is just going to be amazing. I can't wait.
there's one downer I see to this, and it doesn't have the Halo Reach maps or game type since Halo Reach isn't in it. And Halo Reach had my favorite game type ever,
Yeah.
Invasion.
Invasion. That was a good game type. I didn't play a lot of it, but it was a very good game type. But you never know. To be absolutely honest with you, they are doing some stuff to the games that it wasn't originally intended for. I mean, take a look at Forge. They're putting Forge in Halo 2. There was no Forge in Halo 2 originally. None.
And Halo 1.
Uh, yeah, they're not putting that in that one, but it's
Yeah, they
still, it
are.
is not in Halo CE. Forge is not going to be in there.
No, Frank O'Connor, I watched him and he said Forge is coming to Halo 1 and 2.
No, I didn't hear one. I heard 2, 3, and 4.
Because we're, like right when the E3 press conference came up, like right when it went off, that he was on IGN and they were like, it was before the videos I think Halo Follower put up, and it was like he was talking, and that's where he said like the 93 maps, and he was like Forge will be coming to Halo 1 and 2.
Well, if it does, that's great. You never know because Halo CE Custom Edition or whatever they want to call it was basically a lot of people using a lot of different things to make their own custom maps and stuff. So you never know. That might be the case. That's not, I haven't heard that officially yet, so maybe I'll take a look for that. But that's the stuff that they're doing. So you never know. They might make an invasion game type. I mean, imagine playing invasion on what is it, Relic or something like that. I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
And one thing that really has me excited is, like you said, people were going to kill you for liking Reach, but they're going to kill me for saying this because it's generic. But my favorite map is Blood Gulch.
What's wrong
And
with Blood Gulch?
because people always go, it's overhyped. But not, I mean, it's kind of Blood Gulch because I hate the original Halo 1 Blood Gulch. But I love its remake in Halo 2 Coagulation. I love that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I can't wait for it to be actually honest. I want to play. I do want to play Team Snipers on it, and I think that'll just be a blast. Or with Forge options, man, I can go in there and set up a game where it's just got race and tanks and whatever else, and just have a really good time doing crazy stuff like that.
When it came to Halo 3, I forged all the time. Like, I spent so much time forging too and playing custom games on my maps. Halo Reach came out, and I don't know what was about it, but I just not like forging on Halo Reach. So I forged little, but just not too much. And then Halo 4 came out, and I never forged once in Halo 4. So I
I
can't
forged a
wait.
bunch.
I can't wait till the Halo 3 comes out, and maybe they'll bring back. I hope they have like the forge mechanics like for each game too, so I can go in with Halo 3 and forge that way.
Yeah, that's the question of the day. I was actually watching a Halo Forge Epidemic video, and they were kind of talking about it a little bit, but even those guys don't know. Is it going to be one interface for each of them? I would almost think that would be the way they're going to want to do it. It was Halo 3 forging, and I commend you for being a Halo 3 forger because I couldn't do it. I've tried. There was a lot of little tricks and stuff that you had to do and had to learn to make stuff work.
I actually did not use those tricks. Like most of what I forged were like mini games, and I found ways to get around and with like man cannons and teleporters where you didn't have to do all those tricks because took a lot of time, and I was like, I don't have time for this, so I made my own tricks for it.
Well, nothing wrong with that. I mean, there was just stuff I could not hardly maneuver the blocks. Period. I mean, it was just so clunky. I gave up on it. So if you were actually halfway decent at Forge and Halo 3, and that goes for anybody listening to this, man, I commend you because that is something that I could not do. I just didn't have the patience for it. Now in Halo Reach, I forged a little bit, nothing crazy, a few maps, but of course I was actually unable to really test them out or anything. Halo 4, of course, everybody knows that I do quite a bit of forging. So
I think I'm on return to be a forger with the Master Chief Collection.
actually, I heard, I think Mr. Pokephile, I think, is another forger. I think he watched that Master Chief Collection, and watching his video, he said pretty much, I need to go forge something like right now. He's just getting excited for it now. I can't wait to see what they bring for it. I want to get the more details on that and see what we're actually going to be able to use. I think they're going to up the stakes and make that UI even better than Halo 4 or Halo Reach.
But what I found amazing was they said, like, when it comes to trying to search for a game, they were going to have like an option up from like each game, and you would like, and they would be on their own original games engines, and you would like choose, it, and it would instantly just load up that game's engine, and you would play it on that exactly like how you played it on the original game. I just found it amazing that they could have all these game engines just running at the same time, basically.
It's yeah, this whole disc is just amazing. I can't even imagine how they're really putting this all together and making it work and running on one seamless UI, and it's just I can't even explain how incredible this is. It's just so like I said, incredible that they were able to do this and take somebody's fantasy and make it a reality.
If you would have told people that this was going to happen when the Xbox 360 first came out, like when the last gen just came out, they'd been like, "No way that would ever happen. That's impossible." And people are saying that now, and it's like, "Oh, the Master Chief Collection. What?"
Yeah. Well, think about that though. I mean, they thought about Forge Island, not Forge Island, but Forge World. That was impossible, but even Bungie, they made it happen. I mean, it's just people really squeezed the life out of that 360. They really did. They got every ounce out of it, and I think Halo has really done an outstanding job in that area.
I think ever since Reach, Halo has been restricted by the 360 because even by like 2010, the 360 was way out of date. And when Halo Reach came out, Bungie pushed it to its limits. And when Halo 4 came out, it was pushed to its limits again, but Halo 4 was just so restricted because of the limitations of the 360. Because, like, how we know it was supposed to be an Xbox One game, but Microsoft rushed it for the Xbox 360. And we know it was meant to be an Xbox One game, but I have a game meant for the Xbox One release on the Xbox One. That's going to be amazing with the Master Chief Collection and Halo 5.
Oh my God, it is. From what I have been talking to with some of the guys I know, is that as much as we are going to like this Halo Master Chief collection, Halo 5 is going to be even better, and that is a big statement to make. I hope I'm not being misled here, but I think that is going to be an amazing thing if they do pull that off.
I don't know what it is, but even though it was just like 30 seconds of a trailer for Halo 5 multiplayer, something got me hyped up about the multiplayer for Halo 5 that has not happened since like Halo 3 came out. I mean, like, I don't know what it was, but that trailer just felt like it was everything I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, they did an outstanding job. Granted, it's just a trailer, just CGI and everything, but just thinking about that, what did they say? Next generation arena multiplayer.
And when I thought arena, like Halo is like the only big arena shooter still on the market. I mean, there's others, but it's still the only big one. And like, it seems like they are going to go back to their roots, the Halo roots, with this too.
Yes, and that's what they needed to do. They really did. They were definitely going down this path that the fans were saying, we don't like this. You need to fix this. Get back to where we started. And then it's just a testament to time as to how well it was made to begin with. It really is.
And another thing is they said all new Spartan abilities, which we know is not armor abilities because that was confirmed, but they said it's going to be similar to like how Halo 2 introduced dual wielding and boarding. And I'm sitting there thinking, what else could they introduce besides that to Halo?
Yeah, well, we think about it, but they have teams brainstorming this stuff. But that quick cover slide that we saw, is that one?
Do you think that would fit in Halo, the having a cover system?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's CGI. You don't know exactly what's more for dramatic effect and what's more for a sneak peek or a hint. I mean, we just don't know. But the good news is we're going to find out in December.
Yeah,
That I am excited for. I can't wait.
like I told you before we started recording, December 27th, my birthday.
What a birthday present. You're going to get online and say, I'm not going to work. I'm not going to school. I'm going to be tearing this up.
Like a 343, thank you for the birthday present.
You should send them that. You should send them a tweet that says, "Yep, thanks for the birthday present. I'm going to be on here all month because that is actually dang near a month. December 27th through January 22nd. That is the longest beta I have ever seen for a first-person shooter.
And on top of that, when Bungie, I think the only two other games that have open betas were 3 and Reach, and Bungie only had those open for 2 weeks. And then
Yeah.
even on top of that, they were like just 3 or 4 months before the game actually released. So
So
they're actually
yeah,
having this beta almost a year before the game even released. So that's making me think: are they going to fix some stuff and then release a second beta later on, or what?
no, I don't think so. I think this is going to be it. They're going to run the one beta, which unfortunately we're going to have to wait another year to actually get the game in our hands. But I'm going to be playing Master Chief Collection the whole time in between that. But the best thing about that, though, is that they've given themselves enough time to listen to our feedback and make the adjustments that are needed to be made, which is what happened in Halo 4. The only problem is the game was already launched, and that's what sucked about Halo 4. I mean, we after the Turbo update in what was it, June? But yeah, after the Turbo update, man, Halo 4 took on a whole new life, and unfortunately, by that time, most other players have gotten off and moved on to somewhere else, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. We'll
I
have
just feel
to.
like it's going to be so polished because Halo 4 was rushed, and I think I read something about, to a certain extent, Halo Reach was too. And it just, if they're releasing the beta this early, you know it's going to have to be really polished when they release it.
Yeah, yeah. I think, like I said, I think 343 learned a lot from Halo 4, which is good. That means we're going to get a better game. Um, I think the campaign is going to be amazing. I don't know whether or not it's going to be open world. I mean, that's a question of the day. Is it going to be open world? Kind of like ODST, where you kind of got several things you could go to at once, and you could go to them.
I'm going to
And
be honest right here, real quick, because we're talking about the campaign. You
yeah,
know, when Cleanup was like, if you had 4 minutes for 343, what would you tell him for his Project Onyx video? I was like, I have absolutely nothing because I quite enjoyed Halo 4. I have nothing to ask him for, so I just made something up and I made up well, I don't think people like the Halo 4 campaign. I mean, I completely made that up, but being honest, 343 did a great job with the Halo 4 campaign, and even if Halo 5 is half as good as their Halo 4 campaign was, I'd be happy with that.
my issue with the campaign, the story was good. My issue with it is it really felt like you were going from one point to the next. You're going from A to B. You're going from B to C, and so on and so forth. I kind of liked being able to kind of choose where I'm going to go. I mean, I'm not talking complete open world like GTA or Watch Dogs or something like that, but give me some choices. Let me go and kind of do whatever I kind of want to do and explore the world a little bit.
I think that comes down to like they didn't because of how high tech Halo 4 was. They were really restricted on what they could do on a 360 at the
Yeah,
time.
you're correct. I think so too. I mean, it is so high res and it's done such a good job. The game looks amazing, even for a 360 title. I think it's the best looking game out there. I really do.
Like I think you said like last time, like you could put the Halo 4 on Xbox One and it would go for Xbox One title.
It would. I mean, you look at it, they're going to upgrade it to 1080p, 60 frames per second, and go through that campaign looking like that. It's going to look good. You'd swear it's an Xbox One title if you've never played it before.
like Frank O'Connor said that even Halo 3 looked better in 1080p and 60 frames per
Yeah,
second.
yeah, it's going to easily. Most games nowadays are, or most people's TVs are 1080p, so it's kind of like downgrading the resolution. So when we have this 1080p set standard, man, it's going to look good. It really is.
Might be changing gameplay too, because when you look at it,
Yeah,
Halo 2, 3, 1, all the Halos have run at 30 FPS. Well, the thing I say know about that is if you look at Perfect Dark on the Nintendo 64, it ran at 30 FPS, and when grenades went off, like the game would lag. But when they released it in like 2010 for the Xbox 360, they put it at like 60 frames per second, and it actually changed the gameplay, and people complained about it. So like they had to go through and like fix the game where it would lower the frame rates at certain parts just to match how it played on the Nintendo 64 because it changed the gameplay just to have higher FPS in the game.
yeah.
And I think that's going to cause a problem with like the pro players are going to be complaining because Halos 1 through 3 don't play the same because they're running at 60 FPS now.
And on dedicated servers, that's going to make a huge difference too. LAN play wouldn't make too much of a difference, but I think Frank O'Connor said for Halo 2 specifically that the super bouncing and the BXR and all that stuff, it's going to be in there. It is going to be there. However, that stuff was more or less based on geometry and kind of the frames and stuff like that. So how it's going to work is kind of still up in the air. They haven't said anything, but it may not work the same. So all those super bouncers out there wanting to do that, that might not be as effective as it was before.
And one thing, I'll be personally honest, I'm one of the very few people that think the glitches, like the button glitches and all that, there should be taken out. I mean, I know it's going to make like a lot of the pro players and competitive players mad, but the way I see it is if the company did not mean for it to be in the game when it came out, then it should not be used in competitive play. And Bungie did not mean for that to be used when it came out. And I know it's going to make a lot of people mad me saying that, but I honestly feel like they should take it out. But I know they're not going to because then you'd have all the competitive players like complaining
Yeah,
about it not playing the same.
it's one of those things. And Frank O'Connor said it just like this too. You're pretty much damned if you do and damned if you don't. So they just pretty much just said, you know what, we're just going to leave it be and let it go as is. Oh man, well we are actually approaching 40
20
minutes,
minutes.
45 minutes already. It doesn't take long for us to really get this going. Now we did not talk a whole lot about lore, but that's just honestly the way this is today. Honestly, we don't have a lot of information about Halo 5.
We might have to talk about the lore from the Master Chief Collection at a later date.
Well, yeah, we're going to have to. We're going to have the access to the terminals and stuff like that at that point, and that's going to be really interesting. I can't wait to do that. And we're going to have been able to watch a Nightfall. That's going to be fun. As far as I know, is that going to be episodic, just like Forward Unto Dawn was? 'Cause I think it is.
They said series, so I'm not sure, but they said it was going to release with the Master Chief Collection, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out.
It might just be on disc where you can just say, "Yeah, I'm going to just watch the whole thing there." That might
I
be what it is.
I hope they do not do like how they did with Halo Reach Legendary Edition. Like, oh, you get Legendary Edition Halo Reach, and you get the video to like this Bungie playing through Halo Reach, and you get it. And it's just like a code where you can watch it on Waypoint. I'm like, what? You're
You know
not
what?
going to give me
That's
the actual disc?
yeah, yeah. I think I still have was a Halo 2 Legendary and Halo 3 Legendary editions. They had a disc that you could sit there and watch the behind the scenes stuff and all that crazy stuff. Man, I hope they bring that. I
They
want to
did it
see that.
They did it with Halo 4 too. It's like you get the limited edition Halo 4 and you get Forward into Dawn and you get it and it's a code to watch it on Waypoint.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really get disc and you don't even get to download it. It's a code to watch it on Waypoint. It's like, and then they just eventually gave it to everybody to see to begin with on Waypoint. It's like,
Yeah.
you
Then
just screwed me out of money.
then they put it on Netflix and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, like I said, we did not get into a whole lot of lore, but we did not know a whole lot at this point. There's a lot of stuff coming, of course, when the lore gets actually released. Now, this is where I kind of want to make the statement here is that I do not particularly want to get too much into the campaign. As of right now, I want to get into the campaign and experience it for myself, if you can understand what I'm saying with that.
Are you talking about like theories?
No, just actual like leaks and stuff like that.
Oh, I always try to stay away from leaks.
Yeah, I don't want campaign leaks. I want to know everything I can about multiplayer. But campaign leaks, no, I will not post them on my channel because I just think that just kind of ruins the story for everybody.
Like I would not put leaks on. I mean, like I know a lot of people will, but I would not put leaks on my channel just because what Frank O'Connor says, like, do you not know that leaks hurt us when you like release them and put them on the internet for everybody to watch? Like we get our jobs are on the line and people get fired for leaks. Their families' lives are on the lines when you put out leaks, and that's just not thinking about game developers doing it. And it made me think, and I was like, he's right. I'm not gonna put any more leaks on my channel.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I know some people, a lot of people do that, and they just don't put on leaks, and I'm not going to put on leaks either. I'll put up some theories that I may have, or whatever, but based on stuff that we've heard. But unless I have some definitive source, I'm pretty much not going to put it on my channel. And official source, meaning they've announced it or something like that.
Or hinted at.
Or hinted at, and we can take guesses, speculation, but speculation isn't leaks. It's a little different. Well, anyways, we are quickly approaching an hour. I think we're getting close. I think we should probably start wrapping this up. I'm going to apologize to the lore guys out there because honestly, we did not get into a whole lot, but guys, it's coming. Especially a lot of stuff coming to escalations. I want to talk about that, but I need to read them first. Frozen's already read them. That's going to be a lot of stuff like that in Nightfall as soon as we get some more stuff on that. So,
What about this? When you can read escalations, and let's try to get a third person and do a lore podcast on escalations.
yeah, that sounds good. I would love to get another third person in here. If you guys know some lore and have some questions, please put some questions down in the comments down below because I actually want to start posting some questions and me and Frozen will do our best to answer them. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
I think I would love to see some of that stuff. Answering stuff helps me get back into a lot of the areas that I may not have traversed in a while. So
Oh, there's one more thing I want to talk about during the Halo 5 trailer that I wanted to mention earlier on in this, but I forgot to. And when I was watching the Halo 5 or the Master Chief Collection trailer, I had tears rolling down my face.
yeah,
I'm not even going to lie, like I was crying watching that.
I don't think you were alone, Grant. I wasn't tearing up, but man, I was like, oh my God, I was having a hard time talking or typing because I was on Skype with some of the other guys, and it was just like I can't hardly type. It was so bad. It was so awesome. I can't wait to get through that campaign again and high definition, new graphics, everything. English,
Yeah.
talking, grunts.
You got me choked on my spit.
I can't wait. I love throwing a sticky grenade and the dang grunt says, "No, not again, no!"
Dude, you're making
And
me
he
tear
runs and
up right
kills all his
now.
buddies.
You're making me tear up.
That's what I'm here for.
A shoulder to cry on.
Oh,
Think
it's
of
just
it.
those little things that I love, though.
What's wrong with you making a grown man cry?
I'm good at it. All right, I think we really do need to wrap this up because I think my computer's gonna like, this is a huge file. So, anything else you would like to add before we end this?
If you want the Crazed Spartan to sing a song, go hashtag yes on Twitter and yes in the comments.
Only if you guys really want it that bad, but I am not a good singer.
We
I'm
can sing like
terrible.
a duet or something. I don't know. But
Oh, we should have to send like earplugs to everybody as a prerequisite before we do that.
we can be like Johnny Cash and Jerry Lee Lewis doing a duet.
Yeah, yeah. More like Johnny Cash and his cat.
I'm Johnny Cash.
Yeah, I'd be the cat. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Of course, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Go ahead and hit up FrozenSword's channel as well. He does a lot of awesome Halo theories, Halo 5 theories, and stuff like that. He does an awesome job in that stuff.
If you enjoyed the video, give us a bull, yeah. Oh, bull, yeah.
Bull, yeah. This is the Crazed Spartan, and I am out of here.